So what is a mindset, for instance? We have to change our mindset. If we are just full of regrets, we have to come to the place that we are aware of what is now, leave the past behind, and move forward. And that's really difficult to do, but we always can train our brain. And I know that you know all this. I feel that I'm repeating myself to the most wisest of my friends. And I know that you know this, but how interesting is this to constantly teach our younger generation this kind of stuff, because now we know and we can teach them what it is to change your little mindset. Mindset is just a set of beliefs that we have that make sense for you, and the place that you're in, and you feel that that is definitely. Oops, I kind of did a crazy thing here. Let me put you away to the side. It affects how you think, how you feel, and how you respond to different situations. So it really influences how we prepare for things and how we perform, what our actions are, and how we persist and persevere with that. I love those three P's, right? We can easily remember that. And when we try to work our brain, again, we can do that by being still, by going into meditation, by visualizing better outcomes, by visualizing and starting to believe and pray, and visualize the things that we want to see as an outcome out of the situation. So if we're stuck in this mindset, we talked about it a little bit in the past, then we can see that we really get stuck into not being able to change what we are thinking about. We call this in therapy, we call this, and in the clinical world, the growth versus the fixed mindset. Are you viewing challenges and are you embracing them in a sense of, yay, this is a challenge, but I'm going to work on it because it's going to be exciting for me? Or do you, with a fixed mindset and the things that we have learned that we can't help the way we always thought, do we avoid them and fear them? This is all on a slideshow that I can share with you. So um, please know that this is just something that I do a lot, and I wrote it down for you so that we can go through that. How do you view obstacles and effort? So, do you give up easily, or do you persist and persevere and overcome? Again, do you think, well, I just can't do that, and you're in that negative mindset, right? Fixed mindset is a lot of time a negative mindset because we go into the repetition of um, low self esteem and negative thinking because things don't really work our way. Another one that we can look at is how do we view criticism? If people are coming to us, do we see it as something that we can work with and that we might see as a challenge to change a little bit? Or are we just getting really angry and say, well, I don't want to deal with that and you're wrong. I've always done it this way and you can't see it, but I see it. This is the way it is. This is my highway, right? So it's difficult. That one is very difficult because I realize that when we talk about criticism in the past, sometimes criticism to me was brought in a way that gave me very, very bad self esteem. And of course, that's all about communication. So, how do you communicate with somebody that you want to say something that they should work on, or that you might think that would be very good for them? And as sort of a mentor kind of position, then as a mentor myself, I would say, I love what you're doing, or I just always really get so much out of it, but leave this one thing out or leave that out because I think that would be even easier for you, right? So it's all in the way you communicate. I love you, but that kind of thing. So if you're thinking about how you communicate things, and criticism is really an optimistic thing. And the last thing is that how do you view success of others? Are you threatened by it? Or do you find a lesson and inspiration? I really love the saying that being a copycat or people copying me is a compliment. I love that now. And in the beginning of my career, I thought that was a threat, right? When you share things and people take it like, they took my thing. And of course, a lot of times in work related situations, that happens also for the wrong reasons. People just take your thing and all of a sudden they make a great career out of it and it was your idea. That's not cool. But if people say, hey, I learned so much from you, can I use that? Or I would like to copy that and paste that and take that with me because I want to exactly use that for my friends or for my lesson. Yes, absolutely. I love it that you're going to do the same. I love it. So that's also a little bit in our mindset. This is a little bit of how we can prepare, perform, and persevere into a growth mindset. We want to be intentional about what we want and how we communicate that. Know your narrative just means how we are communicating that and how we are intentional about self talk. And so, if we don't want to have regrets, then we do have to start knowing that where we are right now was intentional. It was meant for us to be in the place where we are right now. The really difficulties that we had overcome were meant to be for us because it made us grow and it made us come to the place where we are right now. And so if we look back, then use all that to put yourself into a positive situation. Look what you have overcome. Why are you thinking negative? Why do you think, why is it bad self esteem? Why do you have so much regrets about the things that have happened? Yes, in my situation, for instance, with patients, sometimes I work with patients that are in active addiction. And when they are there, they really have a lot of regrets about what they have done. But my point for them, or my training with them, is really about letting that go because you get stuck into that mindset of, of guilt and shame. And that doesn't help us move forwards. So it happened, let it go. It might not be good. We're going to make amends. We're going to do some other things that we can change around and to actively then from there live in the now and move forwards because you get stuck. You get stuck, and that self-talk becomes really negative, and that self-esteem is it becomes really just kind of like a really low point, right? We just can't get out of it. In perseverance, we see that, of course, all this stuff, prepare, perform, persevere. I see that a lot with athletes, and we see that a lot with very successful people, that whatever happens, whoa, my goodness, I see that feedback as a gift. I didn't like it, but I need to look at it in a positive way and do something with it. Failure, I have so much failure, but I don't have regrets anymore because that's why it's the place, this is the place where I am right now. I did have a lot of failure. I do have regrets that I didn't communicate things different or that I left or that I just walked out. But if I see that now it's something that I had to do to come to the place where I am right now, then that was probably meant to be. And I had to learn through that, I had to learn to communicate better. So failure can be a form of feedback, right? And if you look forward, if you say, well, I'm still kind of stuck. Yes, my patients, my clients, they're with me because they're still stuck. We're not there yet, but we're going to do this for a long time so that you can adopt the I am not yet there mentality. Almost, right? I say that to people also if they come stretch. Think about it. You're not flexible? Well, don't stop coming to the yoga class because you told me I'm not flexible. That's okay. You're not flexible, but that's why you're going to work a little, do a little yoga because you want to become flexible. So the mindset is not, I am not, but the mindset is, I'm not there yet, right? I'm going to get flexible because now I'm doing the work.